Hello everyone, I'm Mo, and I have lost over 140 pounds in under 6 months just by consuming the right ingredients, and so have hundreds of our clients, so I know anyone can as well. Now, are you tired of restrictive diet plans that leave you feeling literally miserable? But the worst part is when you're just consistently hungry. What if I told you you could lose weight without cutting out your favorite foods and not being consistently starving? Now stick around because I'm about to reveal some of the secret to effortless weight loss with macro-based meal planning. Now hit that like and subscribe button for science-backed weight loss tips and proven strategies that have worked on hundreds of people, you guys. And I want to make it easy for you anywhere you're at. Now, losing weight should not feel like a punishment, and I think a lot of times it does. The reason so many diets fail is because they're based on restrictions and not necessarily balancing the numbers. But there's even a smarter way to reach your goals, and I call it personalized macro-based meal planning. Now, macros is short for macronutrients, and there are 3 key nutrients everybody needs. That is proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Now, proteins help you build muscle and it keeps you full, and so do clean, healthy fats. And then on top of that, carbohydrates kickstarts your energy, and your brain actually always needs a little bit of carbohydrates to continue running. And then lastly, fats support your brain function, hormone production, and so many more within the body. But many diets fail because they try to tell you to balance all 3 of those macronutrients consistently. I actually fully think that that is incorrect. And the reason is because your body uses all 3 different macronutrients differently. They're not all used for the same task and function within the body. Okay? Now, the best way to think about those 3 is that number is more important than your caloric intake every day. And I know that that's very different from what everybody's used to understanding, but realistically speaking, it has worked with hundreds of people. So again, I know it can for you as well. Think about this. When you are counting your macros every day, you are feeding your body the nutrients it needs in the right calculated numbers. And it is a little different for everybody. But I will tell you, what you want to do is think about them in percentages. And we're going to start with the very, very basic and most important percentage, and that's your fats. You need to be consuming 70% fat to 75% fat. Some people who work out a lot more, exercise a lot more, and burn a lot more energy, then they need to be doing 65 to 75% fat with your macronutrients for the day. And then you're gonna move on to protein. Protein is so important because it helps keep you satiated with the fat. On top of that, it's what builds the muscles and those building blocks, right? And with protein, you're gonna wanna do anywhere from 15 to 20. And it just depends on how much exercise you are exercising. If you do a lot of workouts that involve muscle building, then you're gonna wanna up that number to the 20%. Now, if you don't do very much of that and you're more of a couch potato, then you're gonna wanna up that number or lower that number down to 15%, which is okay. You work in the office all day, it's hard to go out and exercise and move. And then there's jobs that are always outside, so you have that luxury of lowering your protein number and even lowering some of your fat number to then have more carbohydrates. And the carbohydrate percentage is, in my opinion, the most important one. The other 2, if it's not perfect, that is fine, especially if you're already healthier. If you are not in a healthier position and you have things like insulin resistance and other problems within the body, then you want to pretty much try to stick to these specific percentages. That's exactly how we do it if you come to our retreats or you do any of our home coachings. So just telling you to do it the easiest way possible for yourself. Now, when it comes to the carbohydrates, this is a little bit tough and some people don't love hearing this, but you're gonna wanna keep that between 5 to 10%. And the reason that that number needs to be the lowest is because actually, you guys, carbohydrates can be made within the body using the backbone of fat that is literally called gluconeogenesis. We can leave links below. You can easily just look it up. Gluconeogenesis is the taking of, and your body can do that specifically as it needs it. There have been months that I have done challenges where I consumed no external carbohydrates and my body would just create it, and it was honestly amazing and it felt the best. but it is very, very difficult to upkeep. So I understand that. And we want to make everything as sustainable as possible for the long run. So when you're doing our challenges, our goal is to make your macronutrients fit your body. And here's the thing, there is no written answer. So the reason that we do our retreats or the reason that we do our challenges is because we spend the first couple of days actually understanding how your body's reacting to the food. And we do that by A, tracking your blood glucose or ketones numbers, and then B, by tracking your weight and your body fat percentage, BMI, every day, right? And that is so important and critical for us to be able to determine the next best macro counted meal for you, as that percentage does change for everybody. And here's another thing, you guys, the crazy part about this is that number will also change as your body's activity levels change, right? So like if you go in a month where you're on vacation and relaxing and not doing very much, you're going to have a different number. If you are working every day, your body has high stress, you're creating a lot of cortisol, that percentage does need to adapt a little bit. And that's kind of the most important part about all of this, is just adapting to fit your specific lifestyle's need. And our coaches, when you are speaking to them, their goal is to calculate from your lifestyle exactly what you need to use percentage wise. And if you're doing it at home, my recommendation for you is just to practice and test. And the reason that is so important is because if you test, and let's say you're like, look, I really, really love carbohydrates, I eat them more. So then maybe you test out doing 10% carbohydrates, maybe even 15% carbohydrates, lower the fat a little bit, but then keep the protein at 15 to 20, depending on your exercise level. And you can try that, right? See how it makes you feel. If you're consistently hungry, having a problem, you can't maybe even do 16-hour fasts, then what you really need to do is start changing those numbers to raising up your fat number and lowering your carbohydrate number, because clearly your body is still, in a sense, then insulin resistant. Because once you have removed insulin resistance, you're going to remove a lot of your problems in regards to being hungry, being hormonally imbalanced, feeling a certain type of way. A lot of those feelings do come from your microbiome, and your microbiome is also controlled by the food you eat. And the way to control the food you eat is based on the numbers that you consume in the macronutrients, not in the calorie number. I do not believe that spending any time on a caloric number is going to make a big difference. You can add that on later on if you're already cleared with your insulin resistance, because you might be a bodybuilder, you might have some different goals. But if you would just want to have a longer term sustainable life and try to avoid getting sick, try to avoid having allergies, many of those things, you can look it up. Low carb and low inflammation do help support those things. So my recommendation, focus on the percentages, right? Focus on the percentages, test out different percentages, go down them one by one and see what works best. And an easy way to do that, we do it for you when you're working with us, but if you're doing it at home, just keep a journal. Just keep a daily log journal, even if it takes you 5 minutes to write at the end of the day what you consumed, how much you exercised. And if you're working with us, again, we're going to give you the stat testing devices. And if you're doing it from home, you can buy a glucose monitor. They're anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for a month. I know they're a little expensive, but that is how it works. You can use that to your advantage and see what things give you spikes. And then you can change your percentages based on those spikes and your eating windows and times. Now, many people do think tracking your macros is complicated, and it kind of is if you're not calculating it through the food process, and that's understandable. But you do want to maybe get your own blood tester or smart scale if you want to do this yourself. And those are going to help you monitor the progress and actually optimize your results. Now, you don't have to give up your favorite foods. You just need to adapt your favorite foods to meet the percentages that you are consuming. Okay? We do have a free recipe book below, so click the link in the description and you can download our free, currently macro-based approach for weight loss. So if you're looking for weight loss, that book is for you. If you're not, it's probably not the best option. It's not for complete muscle building. It's not for scaling. It's just for weight loss and sustaining. Now, another thing you could do is to get started on this on your own. First, you want to set your goals, whether it's fat loss, muscle gain, or maintain. Then you want to determine those macros based on your body's needs and then lifestyle. And most importantly, you're going to test out your macros every day while tracking your progress and seeing what changes you need to make. Now, do me one more favor. Do not hesitate to click that subscribe button if this video helped you out today. And while you can create your own meal plan, which I do hope everyone does, Working with an expert can save you time and ensure a little bit more accuracy. If you need any help, please do not hesitate to click the link below. We are finally reopening our opportunity to service customers online like this. And if you do want the guaranteed weight loss without the guesswork yourself, you can join our weight loss coaching program. It is a science-based, result-driven system that's designed for people just like you. Our program does include a custom macro tailored plan that fits your specific body and your lifestyle. We take the time to understand how your lifestyle works currently, and then we will adapt that plan to fit your needs. And as long as you consume following those percentages, you will always hit the goals and the results that you are looking for. We currently do have 100% completion guarantee, and I love watching people change their lives. If you do need the help, please don't hesitate. Click the link below, and you can also just text us any questions. We're here to make it easier for you. Remember, our goal at Weight Loss Paradise is to help thousands of lives, hopefully shed millions of pounds. And if you're overweight, you need to understand it is not your fault, actually. You just need to learn how to make it work to your advantage. And second, anybody can lose the weight. You are not stuck forever with it. Thank you so much for watching. Please click the subscribe button if this video did help you, and share it with somebody that you know needs help starting their weight loss journey. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys on the next one.